Um, Now today we are going to practice basic of object. Before we practice the basic um, language grammar, um, yeah, I like to talk about why we need object. Um, Before we studied a variable, um, you can store like you can store like a string or numbers into variable, like words and numbers into variable, and we have learned functions. And then you could store lots of strings or numbers into variable, which is called array. Array has a index. Array you can store lots of valid data by order. Like first data that's stored is index 0, second was index 1, like that. It was by order of saved order, was stored order. Okay, so but that was the only thing that was able to group the string or number data into a variable. Now we imagine there are like hundreds functions and hundreds strings and numbers, and they kind of sharing same kind of personalities. You want to store them all, group them all into one variable, and that is the object. So it is like organizing your house. Like you go shopping, you buy food, you buy clothes, you buy bedding, linens and beddings. Manchester, that's called. So you go shopping, you buy all these things. You put the food into a fridge, you put some food into the kitchen cabinet, and you put the clothes into a wardrobe, and you put the bedding into linen wardrobe, linen cabinet. So when you go shopping, you buy all sorts of different kind of products, and then you store it away at different places by its type, right? I'll say like that is like a object. So like fridge is like an object. Fridge has like food that need to be kept cold, and wardrobe is a object. It has all these clothes. Clothes stored in the wardrobe. That is like object. So in the clothes wardrobe object, you have a clothes, which is like skirt, sleepwear, everyday wear, going out clothes, dress, like that. And then in the kitchen, maybe you have a pet supply, a pet product. I have a dog, so dog need a dog food, a dog treat, and dog toys, and dog whatever. I put them in the same place, like a dog cabinet. So that can be object as well. So Like one can be a wardrobe can be object, fridge can be object, food cabinet can be object, and dog um, cabinet can be object. And then this object can have, like for example, dog cabinet. Dog cabinet can have all the dog related products. And so if you look at it in a programming way, dog cabinet is an object name, and it can have all the dog product, dog toys, dog leash, dog food, dog treat. Um, it's all grouped by its related kind. Um, so all the related like datas, like strings and numbers, and all the related functions can be stored in one variable called object. All right, so in when you're using computer, you have something called a you have something called when you're I forgot. I was thinking something else. I lost what I was talking about. I forgot what I was talking about. And when you're studying, I don't know. I forgot. Really lost. So yeah, object contains property, which is all the like data and numbers that can be stored into object, and has all the functions. Function can be like 1 + 1, 2 + 2, or hello plus name. All these functions can be grouped by its related kind and stored into a variable. So that is object. The reason, I was talking about in your computer, you have lots of folders, right? In the folders, it has related files. You put the holiday photos, and you put all the picture files into grouped by holiday name, like holiday to Canada. And you have a Canada pictures that's taken in Canada. It has picture, maybe has a videos, maybe pictures like a property, and videos like method. I mean, it is not, but different type of files. So it's exactly like that. Um, if you don't have a folder system, you can have all sorts of files just listed and not grouped. And it will be very hard to find your file because everybody got like 100,000 files in their computer, and it'll be very confusing for you to search them, remember them. So it's good to have a folder names and navigate through folder names. Basically, object is like a folder, and what's in the object is like a files. So in the object, there's a property and there's a method, two different kind of files. I mean, it's not files, but it's like when you think about folder, say in your computer. That was what I forgot to talk about. So yeah, so now you understand why we need an object. For example, if you have like thousands related functions, you don't want to scatter them all over your website pages. You want to group them. You want to group them into a object. And if you have all the data strings that's used in the functions, or the necessary names and numbers, then you want to also save into object. So object is the organizing tool of your data and method functions. So data is called property, and function is called method. It's a new name. When it is within the object, it has the new name. Function is called the method, and data called the property. So let's dive in. Let's start. Let's practice. All right. So these are the codes. So I'm gonna create a new. Let's see. So that page is this page. This is what we're going to practice. So I'm gonna create a new file, command new. I mean not here. I'm gonna save it as object basic. Let's use this camel. HTML. Object basic HTML. Like a little puppy with me on my lap. He is so clingy. He doesn't want to go anywhere but on my lap. Anyhow, so my typing will be slow. It's slow anyhow, but it'll be slower because of the dog. All right. So how do we create an object? Let's put the title called Java object, JavaScript object, and then subtitle as we're gonna create object. So let's try that. So we're gonna create it within the tag, and so you're gonna store it into variable. Store the object into the variable storage. So object name will be I was thinking about cafe, so I'm gonna call it cafe. Object name is cafe. So basically when you create an object, you go like that and you go like that, and you put all the method and properties within the curly brackets. So first we're gonna start putting the data's properties. So different thing about object and index. Index has an array. Array has an index, and this property has the key. It's a key, like a label. So you write the key first, and then like that. You write the key first, and then you write the string or number. All right, so I'm gonna put all the positions that's in a cafe. So there'll be cafe manager. So what's the manager's name? And I put Tom. And then cafe has a chef. And it'll be Sam. And then you separate them by comma. And cafe has waitress. Will be Jenny. I love the name Jenny. And has cashier. So key is the like a label. Penny, because we need to count every penny. So this is the cafe, and gonna write down we're gonna write the method later. I'm gonna put the dog down. I cannot possibly type. You can go to bed there. All right. So now we just create a cafe object with the 1, 2, 3, 4 properties. All right. So let's print them out. So when you print them out, you always print them out. Document dot write like that. That's the grammar. Next, how do we type them out? So you if you wanna get you can get two things here. You can either get the key or you can get the value, property value. So if you want to get the key, you just write down key. So for example, cafe. I was gonna look. So you're gonna write down cafe dot waitress. So let's get the value. So cafe dot manager, like that. Let's save it and let's have a look. I think I saved it as object basic. So we got the and then I just yeah, I don't like things to be printed next to each other, so I'm gonna put BR tag. To BR tag. And let's try to get the waitress. Pretty waitress who smiles to the customer. And then like that, and cafe dot. So when you write it, the key name, cafe and key name, you always connect them with the dot. So cafe object and then manager property. So cafe object and waitress property. Right, let's save that. We got Jenny. And we add a BR tag to make it look okay. And the next line. And then there's one more chef. So let's add a head chef. Same is just a normal chef, and we have a head chef. Right, how are we gonna do that? So we write cafe dot head chef, which is the key. Head chef equals. So head chef name will be the new head chef came. His name's Nick. Nick is the new head chef. Let's save that and let's see if we can get it. If we can see if Nick is added to the object. How do we do that? The key was head chef. So let's see if we're getting Nick. Yeah, we are getting Nick. So the Nick was successfully added to the object with the head chef key. So instead of index number, we use the key name when you save the data, when you save Nick data. Okay. All right, so this is how we created object with the 4 properties, and we're gonna add method later. You can put like 10 methods, hundreds properties, sometimes hundreds of methods. Probably better to make another object, more like dog food, cold food, and cabinet food, freezer food. Like, you know how you divide it all? You categorize them by how it's related, by its kind. So that's what you do. You create object by and separate the data by its kind, and you keep it in the object. Object is beautiful because in array you cannot have a key label, and it's always by order, stored order. But with the object, you don't have to worry about the order. You don't have to remember the order. And you can also save the functions in the object variable. How cool is that? Because in array, you cannot save functions. So now we created object. Now let's do, what's the next one? Forgetting. Create object. So we're gonna print out all the keys. Print object keys. Please. So got that. And let's put script tag again. Shush. Why are you so needy? Makes me nervous. I cannot focus. Shush. Go to bed. It's 10 o'clock. And anyhow, here what we're doing, we are going to print out all the object keys. With the array, if you want to print out all the data in array, you use the while loop, remember? But here we use for some object for loop. It's very similar. So let's do that. So we're gonna using that, and then we're going to do document dot write, and then keys like that, and then we can see all the keys within the object. I think you gotta put cafe key. Cafe key. Right. You just put the key. You don't need you. You don't have to put a cafe in the front. So for the variable key, so in the variable there are key, but what kind of variable? Variable called cafe. So we're gonna get all the keys in the cafe. So in array, you get the data with the index number. In an object, you get the data with the key label. What are we doing? So we're gonna by this just memorize this oh my god, my dogs. This take out all the keys from the object, like a while loop. It's gonna go through all the data in the object and then print it, keep all the key names. So we do that. Let's see how many key names we are getting. We should get 4 key names, which is manager, chef, waitress, cashier. Let's see if we are getting that. Yeah, manager, chef, waitress, cashier. And we got head chef as well. Remember, we added a, so we should get 5 because we just added a head chef here. All right, so I really don't like that look, so I'm gonna put BR tag. So just plus string BR like that, so it will look better. Yeah, so we got all the keys. So how do we get the data? So we're gonna do, the way we're getting the data is, of course we're gonna document that right. So we do cafe, and just like an index, like array name index number, we put key like that. Let's see what we're getting here. Because it's going through manager, Tom, chef. Oh my god, looks so. I'm gonna do that. Disable them by command slash, because that's more like what I wanted. So we got, by using the key, cafe key, we got all, we looped all the object, and we got all the values of the keys. So of course I don't like this. So what are we doing here? We're putting the tag to make it look nicer. Yeah, so we got Tom, Sam, Jenny, Penny, Nick. So if you want, we can put them together. Can get rid of that. We put the key plus cafe in like square bracket key, like the array. Well, where the index go, the key goes. Key label goes. Oh, but yeah, it looks bad. So to make it look nice, gonna put some dash and then space, 2 spaces. Yep, that's better. Manager is Tom, chef is Sam, waitress is Jenny, cashier is Penny, head chef is Nick, all the cafe people to run the cafe. All right, so we just did the for loop for object. We loop all the key in cafe object. All right, so there was something I wanted to talk about, this keyword. I think we did it before. Whatever the keyword within the object, it's always referring to objects. This keyword in JavaScript. Okay. So in the we're looking at object, right? Method. Or subject. In the method, in the method, this refers to the owner object. I'm gonna write it here. In the method, this refers to the owner object. So yeah, I'm bad at typing. and then wrap it around with the small quotation. So here, instead of cafe, we can use this. Because if cafe object name changes, you have to change all the function. Within the function, you have to change all the object names as well, but too lazy to do that. In case object name changes, we'll change it into this. Then this will always refer object name here, whatever the name changes. So this is good for maintenance in case somebody decides to change the object name. Instead of calling the dog cabinet, you might wanna call it a puppy cabinet because you got a new puppy or something. Then you don't want to change all this into puppy cabinet, you know. That's why we use this. Let's see if it works. All right, it's looping. I should not have put it in here because it's looping. Loop, loop, loop. Object blob. I'll print object keys. What are we doing here? Oh, because now you just added it. Okay, I'm confused. All right, I'll just change it back to a cafe. I'll do that later when it's not making me drawing out this stuff. Hey, oh, that's more proper. So in method, this refers to the owner object. So everything that's saying cafe, oh, because we haven't, it's just function. It's just method. We haven't put it in here yet. So what's next? Yeah, we're gonna create an object method. So where was the we'll just use this one. We'll just put this into a function. Okay, there's two ways to do it. So now we're gonna create a function, right? Look, we're gonna create a function here. The function name is going to be A because I'm lazy to type. And then you put the like, what do you call that? I forgot the name. Column. Just like the property, but this is gonna be method. The difference you're gonna put is you're gonna put the function. We're gonna to say it's a method. We're gonna put function, and then we're gonna skip the name because a label is like a name. A key label is like a name of the functions. Put the function here. So we're just gonna do this as a function. Type all the keys and the data of the key. And then this bracket is for this one, this bracket is for that, and last bracket is for the object. So this bracket is for the for loop. This bracket, that bracket is for the function. That bracket is for the object. 3 bracket. That's where I make the most syntax error. So I must make the syntax error. Yeah, I made a syntax error. Okay. Syntax error 16. Function A. Okay. Let's have a look. Object or subject. Object. Here we go. Function. Function. See? Function. I don't know how to spell. See? I missed the N here. Oh, damn it. So now what? Function. It's a for loop. Function. And object. Everything should be okay. Oh, I missed the you gotta separate between properties and method. You gotta separate by comma. Should be all right now. Yay. So what? So we got print object keys. So we got that. We're gonna comment it. And then put another script tag. And then we're gonna call this method. So very easy. Cafe dot a. That's it. And so this will come out exactly like that. Yeah. Nothing changed because even though we comment this, we did cafe dot a here, and then yeah, exactly the same. It shows the key, just manager, chef, waitress, cash A, and then value Tom, Sam, Jenny, data, Tom, Sam, Jenny, and then function data. It's putting everything, and then hash chef next. The order doesn't matter. Order, sometimes computer throws you in weirdest order. Usually top to bottom. But then yeah, head chef is right at the bottom. Because we put the function first and then put the head chef here, so that's why it's at the bottom. Even though we did a function at the end. Okay, so we just did a function. So if we don't have a function here, sorry, I gotta get rid of the for loop function loop, all of it. All the curly bracket. So if we don't have a function here, how are we gonna add function here? How are we gonna add function to the object? So I think it's gonna be similar. Cafe dot function name is a. It was like head chef. I hope so. Let's see how we did. Okay. Yeah, that's what we did. And then cool. Let me spell it properly. English is not my first language, so my spelling is horrible. Function. So we'll put it, and then we want to put this loop within the function. So make sure the bracket exists 2 times. 1, 2. Oh, where's the cafe bracket? I mean function bracket. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna put another bracket. This is so confusing. I'll just do it again. How did I copy this bracket properly? I'm scared of missing brackets because I'll be lost forever. Okay. Cafe function. So this is how you add function into the object. Right? So let's see if it's added because we call the cafe A, which is calling all the keys and data. Should be the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same, except for head chef went to the top. Why did it go into the top? Because the function is added after adding the head chef. The order change between these two. Head chef got added first, and then function got added after that. So basically, we went through everything. First, we created an object, and then within the object, we created the properties, and then we created the, I don't know how to get rid of it. We created a function within the object, and we made sure the bracket numbers are correct. Yeah, so we created object and save into variable called cafe, and object bracket, curly bracket, and then properties and method, data with the keys that call properties, and then function with the key name A is called method. And then this function has this execution line. It's a loop function, for loop. So we learned how to go through all the keys and key values using for loop in object. And then we learn how to add the property, object name, key name, and then value. And then we learn how to add function into object. So basically object dot function name, and then function. We put the function. You could do it here when you create the object, or you can push it later like that. You just add the function into that. And then let's see. This should still work. Cafe A, we're calling this function, this method. Should be the same. But you see how chef Nick comes after, because now this got executed first. And then this one got executed next. It's up to the computer. Thank you for watching. Have a great sleep or day. There you go.